My dear friends, today the Catholic Church remembers Saint Francis of Assisi. He's one of my favorite saints. I really love him because he's a very simple saint. At the same time, he's a very determined person. The other day, I was speaking to one of my priest friends. He was sharing his experience of Saint Francis of Assisi. He says, Saint Francis of Assisi is impossible to imitate because that person in this cold out there was walking barefoot, practically naked inside that torn and tattered clothes that he wore, and he slept with a stone for his pillow. I mean, with no protection, out there in the cold, battered, bruised. At the same time, he's there crazy for Christ. Was born and raised up in a very wealthy family, but he gave up everything madly in love for Christ. I think how the prince became the pauper for Christ. That is the story of Saint Francis of Assisi, but he never died a pauper because he died inheriting the entire kingdom of God, claiming to be known as second Christ. What more honor and glory could be accorded to a human person? Well, that was Saint Francis of Assisi. I just want to point out one incident from his life, which I think is probably a cause of great spiritual struggle in the life of Saint Francis of Assisi. He came out with the mandate from Christ, hearing this voice clearly, Francis, build my church. So he saw the tattered building of St. Damian Church. He thought the church is in ruins. It's scattered, it's destroyed. Must build it, must make it intact. So that was a physical understanding he had about rebuild the church or build my church. But at least later he understood that Jesus was speaking about the spiritual entity, the Catholic Church, which was divided, and he wanted to unite them all in the person of Christ. So he became a very powerful messenger, uniting them all in faith and love towards Jesus Christ. There was a mission he took up, and he preached vehemently about loving Christ. And in his spirit, a congregation was started, the Order of Friar Minors. And they did great things. They did great things. They were the little brothers of Christ. But unfortunately, even during his own lifetime, Saint Francis of Assisi had to witness this order of friar minors being divided into two, which was, I think, a cause of great spiritual struggle for him, because he came about with a desire and intention of unifying the church and uniting the church. And he saw that the very congregation that was started in his name is now becoming divided. What a pity. What a pain and what a struggle. But he found consolation and solace in his prayer. When all these dramatic incidents were happening, what Francis of Assisi did was withdraw to the caves of Alverno and pray there. That's where he received the stigmata. My dear brothers and sisters, there could be struggles, there could be pains, there could be defeats, defeating the entire mission that we had done. But that shouldn't stop us from loving our God. I think that should take us deeper and deeper and more closer to our God. And the result is we become Christ-like. That's what Saint Francis of Assisi did, and that's what he became. He became more and more inclined to his God and more detached from the world. The consequence is he became like his master. He became the second Christ, as we popularly call him. Therefore, my dear brothers and sisters, accept what Christ gives you, even though they are cause for great spiritual struggle, but they are the reason why you are here, and that is the reason why Jesus wants you to be here on this earth. Believe in that and welcome it wholeheartedly, because that's how you're going to witness to Christ and witness to the holiness that God has deposited in you. God bless you.